Welcome back. Public Works and Infrastructure Minister Dean Macpherson says government is determined to establish the cause behind the building collapses in the country. 9 people died when a structure that was under construction in Ormonde in Johannesburg caved in yesterday. Similar incidents have also been recorded in George and Durban in recent times.
That this is now the 3rd building collapse in a number of months. Each incident carries its own specific circumstances, but together, cumulatively speaking, we must understand what is behind these collapses and what more can we do as government. We must confront whether there are systematic conditions that are allowing these tragedies to take place in the first place. I think that this demands now of us as national government, Premier and Deputy Mayor, a crisis response.
Macpherson has urged the owner of the building to come forward.
While the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure is the custodian of the built environment at a national level, this incident has again exposed a fundamental challenge in how the built environment is regulated in South Africa. Responsibility for different aspects of building control, workplace safety, professional regulation and enforcement is spread across multiple departments and across different spheres of government, and this makes it incredibly complex. When these systems do not operate in a fully coordinated manner, gaps emerge in oversight, compliance and accountability, particularly where unlawful construction occurs or where buildings are occupied without approval. With that being said, I want to call on the company that constructed this building, New Order INV, to come forward and to take accountability for what has gone on here, or if any member of the public knows where the owner of this company is, to immediately contact the SAPS or local law enforcement.
Staying with the story, we are now joined by Sam Ngcongo, the Master Builders SA President, on the rising incidents of building collapses and other possible causes. Mr. Ngcongo, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. So maybe let's just perhaps start the conversation around building regulations as well as compliance. I mean, this particular incident showed that there were no approved building plans that were in place for this collapsed structure. And there are only 15 inspectors, I believe, that are responsible for assessment, particularly around the Gauteng-Joburg region. What are the challenges that you believe are faced in monitoring compliance, and how can this be addressed?
Yeah, good evening. Condolences to the families of the departed people, as well as the management and the staff that was working on site. There are obviously some gaps here. It may be gaps in terms of the plans. Of course, one speculating at this stage, but clearly the drawings or plans, as the minister has just advised us, were not approved. If they were approved, because we're speculating now, if they were approved, then there must have been some work that was done which was not falling within the plans. There would have been also gaps in terms of enforcement. The people that are supposed to be doing inspections, mainly the site, on that site, the people that are doing inspections from the municipality, the people that are supposed to do inspections from the Department of Employment and Labor, the safety inspectors. So those would have been some gaps. And until we find out after the investigation exactly what happened, at this stage we are not sure. But as Master Builders South Africa, we make a point that our members are trained strongly on safety. We make a point that we have continuous training in even on other aspects like construction methodology and in terms of quantity surveying and all those things to make sure that the people that are working on the site have been trained, that they are going to put up quality structure, and that they are also fully aware of the dangers of working on a construction site, so that we minimize or reduce completely the possibilities of accidents.
So I want us to go back to, I mean, you mentioned in the incident, if plans were approved, there could be gaps in other areas. And I want us to expand on some of these other areas, particularly looking at employing capable workers and also providing them with proper tools. How crucial is it with regards to the employment of skilled, capable laborers, as well as the use of tools and materials that would prevent some of these structural collapses? Are you finding that in some instances there are construction companies that are cutting corners when it comes to skilled labor?
There are certainly, I have to admit, some companies that do cut corners. But, you know, we are the master builders of South Africa. And our members, for all intents and purposes, have been trained. And before they take up membership with us, there's a verification process to make sure that they would really be master builders. But, you know, we're not the only organization in this industry. There are many other organizations and there are many other people that, for some reasons, prefer not to join Master Builders South Africa.
How well are current building codes, as well as those standards that are enforced in this country? Do you find that those enforcements are done to an extent that companies would adhere to some of these codes and standards?
There are many bylaws, and the industry is actually heavily regulated. The problem comes when there is no follow-up. The problem comes when the regulatory authorities, should I say, don't really do their jobs instead in terms of doing the inspections, in terms of following up on people that are not doing quality work. And such people should really be, you know, in our view, should not be in the industry. And if they are in the industry and there are no follow-ups, then they should be, call it, arrested. Because, you know, we've had quite a few accidents. You recall some few accidents, one that took place at Tongat, and there was another one that took place in an area down in Eastern Cape.
In George, yes.
In George, yes. And in most cases, we found that there have been gaps in either the construction methodology or in the enforcement of the regulations on such projects. And in some instances, as I said before, you know, people just build without the right drawings, and people just build without the approvals, never mind being the right drawing, but, you know, there has to be an approval. And once there's an approval, there needs to be a follow-up by that particular institution. As I said before, institutions like the local municipality and the Department of Labor, to make sure that there's quality work being produced, so that then we have a quality structure. We also have safe workers that are working on the project, so we don't have scenarios like this.
Do you think, I mean, you keep emphasizing the follow-up even when plans are approved. Do you think communities have a responsibility when it comes to holding others accountable? If you see either your neighbor putting up a structure, or in your neighborhood, if you're seeing an office park going up, do you think community members would have the responsibility to go to the municipal office to go and find out if, one, that is an approved structure, and two, if follow-ups are being made?
Certainly that would help a lot, and in fact it does help in many instances. But there are times when the communities don't even know, they assume that the drawings have been passed, the plans so-called. The communities would assume that the people that have been employed, the contractor has been chosen well by the client. But in some cases, yes, it does help a lot for the communities to stand up and to question what is being built in their areas. We often find that communities concentrate mostly on the employment of local people, because, you know, with the high level of unemployment in the country, that's the main priority for the communities. And sometimes they forego or they forget to check the validity of the contractor, him or herself, and how the project is being done, whether the plans have been approved. And the concentration there being mainly, not only, but mainly on employment of local skilled people.
You made mention of other incidences that took place, the building collapse in George and the other one in Verulam, and now we're seeing the one in Ormonde. Do you find that because we're not seeing prosecutions from some of these previous cases, that you would find some construction companies going ahead and being brazen about starting to dig a foundation and to employ people to come and build without there being any plans or compliance in place?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Yet, maybe if I do some investigation, then I can find out if there were really prosecutions in these 2 or 3 projects. But definitely that is one of the areas. I mean, we're talking now about this particular one at Ormonde, and I believe, as Minister Macpherson was saying, that the contractor has just disappeared. Now, I mean, how can you be doing a project of that size and you can just disappear and you cannot be traced? Surely the contractor will be traced and will be found, but we don't know when. And maybe the contractor has even crossed the border. So yes, prosecutions seems to be a bit slow. But bear in mind that this industry is very easy to gain entry into this industry. You just need to get a bakkie, a few wheelbarrows, and some picks and shovels, and pick up some people, and then bang, you are a contractor.
So then what impact do such tragedies then have on the reputation of the industry as a whole?
Yeah, it becomes serious. But thanks God, those accidents are few and far between. You know, for all intents and purposes, we've got very, very good contractors in South Africa. I have to say that. It does happen here and there. Sometimes it's human error. Sometimes it's because, as we said before, the plans or the drawings were not approved, and the contractor may have been under pressure from the client who wants the building to go up. Sometimes it's just failure by you know, supervision to follow up on the expected regulations. It does sometimes becomes an issue if the people have not been well trained, and therefore the construction methodology is not up to scratch.
Most certainly. Ngcongo, apologies. Thank you so much for your time and just giving us some of these insights. We certainly do hope that those investigations on not just the Ormonde incident, but both of those, the George and the Verulam, will lead to some prosecutions, as you say, and also finding those that are responsible, particularly for this building collapse in Ormonde. That was the Master Builders South Africa President, Ngcongo.